It's me, Patrick, back with another video all about emotion based on concepts covered in Kory Floyd's Interpersonal Communication. I hope you watched my last video all about the character categories and types of emotion. This time I'll be discussing the nature of emotion. Floyd describes 4 characteristics within the nature of emotion. First, emotions are multi-dimensional. Yeah, man, like all the dimensions. Okay. But seriously, there are 4 dimensions to emotion. Emotions are physiological, they're cognitive, they're behavioral, and they're guided by social and cultural norms. So yeah, this is weird. There are 4 characteristics that define the nature of emotion, and the first characteristic has 4 parts to it. The sigh. So much to think about. Let's dig in deeper. First, emotions are physiological. That means they have an actual physical effect on our body, on our hormones, on our heart rate and blood flow. Emotions are also cognitive. That is, we think about our emotions. We can consider them. We can label them. They are cognitive functions. Next, emotions are behavioral, which means that based on an emotion we're experiencing, we'll often do something. We'll behave in a certain way. These first 3 dimensions work well together. A stimulus happens. We see a gigantic spider crawling towards us on our bed while we're sitting and reading our most recent issue of Entertainment Weekly. A hypothetical story here. We experience a physiological reaction. I would be afraid, and that would cause adrenaline to start pumping through my body, which would increase my heart rate and make my blood flow faster. Cognitively, I would consider in my brain, but I'm feeling this way. I would put 2 and 2 together. I'm freaking out! This would then cause a behavior. I would scream, get out of bed, and make my wife come and get that spider away from me. She would take care of it. She's cool like that. I mean, this was totally hypothetical. It never, actually happened. Or anything. Moving on. Okay, those are the first 3 dimensions. Physiological, cognitive, and behavioral. That leaves the 4th dimension. Emotions are social and cultural. This one kind of doesn't fit with the others. That is, the other 3 work in conjunction with each other. But this one, well, this one not so much. You see, we experience emotions because of where we are raised. Food is a great example of this. In some cultures, people eat animals that we don't eat. Some cultures, eating dogs or cats or horses is common. Not so much in American culture. So when we hear about people eating stuff like that, we probably experience some hostile emotions such as disgust or even contempt for people who would do something like that. Well, the thing is, based on our culture or upbringing, we see certain things as more acceptable than others. The same thing happens with fear. If I grew up in a culture where spiders were kept as pets and not feared, I wouldn't feel fear at a spider crawling towards me. I might just snuggle him up. He probably is just lonely. No, not for me. Okay, that is the first. Yes, just the first of the 4 characteristics of the nature of emotion. Trust me, it gets a lot simpler from here. The second characteristic is that emotion varies in valence and intensity. This is a pretty simple one. All emotions have a valence. That is, are they positive or are they negative? They also have intensity. That is, how strong are they? If I got a really ugly pair of socks for Christmas from my lovely mother-in-law, I would have a negative valence of emotion. I would be sad. I like socks. Ugly socks suck. But my intensity would be pretty low. It's pretty low-key, right? Meanwhile, if somebody ran a stoplight and T-boned me as I went through an intersection, I would be pretty angry, another negative valenced emotion, but a much stronger intensity. I apologize. I have a little itchy nose. All right. Anyway, as I was saying, if somebody ran a stoplight and T-boned me as I went through an intersection, I would be pretty angry. Another negative valenced emotion, but a much stronger one. As we examine our emotions, it's handy to evaluate the valence and the intensity. The next characteristic is that emotions come in primary and secondary forms. Much like colors, we have primary emotions. These are the big ones that pretty much all people across all cultures experience in similar ways. These include joy, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, and disgust. Then we have secondary emotions. These are emotions that are made up of more than one of the primary emotions. For example, jealousy is a secondary emotion. It's made up of anger, fear, and sadness. Anger, that somebody might try to steal somebody away. That's a harm. Fear that this might happen. And sadness, because, well, it would be sad if somebody stole anybody from us. Side note, I'm using the word steal when it comes to a human being. I actually don't see relationships this way. I don't think we own another human. And I don't believe that anybody can be stolen. But this is how many of us experience jealousy, which is why I'm using this terminology. And now for the final of the 4 characteristics of the nature of emotion. Are you ready for this? Yeah, it's meta-emotions. That is, sometimes emotions are about other emotions, or sometimes we experience emotions that conflict with each other at the same time. Here's a great example. You just got your midterm grade back. You are so excited that you got a B on it, because you know it was hard. A B is a good grade. And meanwhile, your best friend in class got a D, and that wasn't happy for them. So you might be feeling some meta-emotions. You are probably feeling happy for yourself, and you might be feeling sad for your friend. 2 emotions, same time, super confusing. On top of that, you might be feeling guilty that you are happy. That's an emotion about an emotion. Super duper confusing. Ugh. Mixed emotions. I'm just not sure how to feel about that. So that's it. The 4 characteristics of the nature of emotion in less than 10 minutes. It's like a Christmas carol. All of that in one night. All of this in one video. Oh, ghost of communication, past, present, and future. Thank you for showing me the way. God bless us, everyone. Oh, and have a great day.